Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I'm super excited. You won't believe who got in touch with me. NARVIK is back. And I'm so happy because I always love doing NARVIK's marathons, and just his, requests are they're so good. And I'm so much into Thin Lizzy right now. We're gonna do another Thin Lizzy. I still have to release another one that Nick requested, which is I'm just falling in love with this band. Literally today I woke up and the first thing I did is listen to Thin Lizzy. It's insane. I was listening to Fighting, the album from 1975, and there's so much about Thin Lizzy that I love. Phil Lynot's voice, the harmony guitars. I keep saying, like literally in the song, I was just listening to it called Suicide. Literally the part in there, the double guitar, that literally is what Iron Maiden made a career out of. It's like literally like listening to Transylvania or Phantom of the Opera from their first album. And then they just, they got a new singer after Paul Di'Anno, Bruce Dickinson, and then they just exploded into superstardom. But I think they did grab a lot from Thin Lizzy, and Thin Lizzy is just an amazing band. I mean, Gary Moore. So today we're gonna do two marathons for NARVIK, but this is gonna be the first one. So we're gonna start it off now. Unfortunately, this one is only on YouTube. First of all, thank you so much, NARVIK, for requesting a new marathon. You were missed, I won't lie, but I know it's not possible to be on YouTube like every day, and I know requesting a marathon is it costs money, and time is money, and I understand. So but I'm just glad you're back, and you're ready to request some more, and I'm really thankful for that, for the help and for everything you guys do, for the channel, because by sponsoring these videos you make it possible, to put more time into this channel and to do a little bit less, real life work, so it's just like a wonderful thing. Thank you so much, and I'm learning so much, and I'm like full of music, and I'm playing more than ever, and I'm super excited. So thank you. So we're gonna start it off. This is a really interesting lineup. This is Skid Row, and this is called New Faces, Old Places, Brush Shells. This is with Phil Lynott, Gary Moore, and Noel Bridgman. So I think this is one of the first lineups of Skid Row, but I'll look right now on Wikipedia while I listen to the music. I honestly never really like to look up everything at once before I do the video, because it kind of like does spoil a little bit of the the whole experience. But while we listen to this first tune, I'll look up on Wikipedia. I want to know why Skid Row was, why Gary Moore was in Skid Row and Phil as well, and then I guess they made their own thing with Thin Lizzy. But here goes New Faces, Old Places. Thank you so much, all you Thin Lizzy fans, Gary Moore fans, Phil Lynott fans. Thank you so much for being here, and also everyone that just watches the video out of sheer entertainment. I thank you so much for all your support, and thanks so much to all the people who support us with these requests. We'd love to do also free content, but it's harder, because we don't get paid to do these videos. Only the requests make us, some money. But when we do a video, basically that video gets demonetized immediately, and we don't make any sort of revenue at all because I get it, because we're using content that's copyrighted, and I totally get it. I would never want to claim something that's not mine. So that's why I guess in the future we want to do more movie reviews, where we just talk about the movie, maybe album reviews and stuff like that, where we're not using copyright content, go live more and stuff like that, play guitar, play bass, do music, stuff like that. Okay, so long intro, but here we go with the first song by Skid Row. All right, here we go. Took some time.
Everybody knows this evening this old house will be leaving forever. Everybody knows we've had good times here, me and my old dad together. A piece of paper says we have to go to make way for a wider road. Auntie Queenie hides a tear as she sees back into all those years together. Uncle John tries to hang on, though the time has come to say so long. Forever.
Wow, this is so, I mean, the quality is like, you can hear that it's like cracking and stuff, and it even stopped there for a second. That's not my internet. It is the you know, the link, which is fine. You know, I love to experience stuff in their original format. So this is Skid Row, were an Irish blues band of the late 1960s and 70s, based in Dublin and fronted by bass guitarist Brendan Brush Shields. It was the first band in which Phil Lynott and Gary Moore played professionally before finding greater fame with Thin Lizzy. This is awesome because I had no idea. I thought this was the Skid Row, you know, the 80s, like Sebastian Bach band. So I didn't know there was an Irish Skid Row. So this is very, very interesting. And I love their folky, you know, approach. It sounds obviously more, I mean, it sounds more flower powery. It sounds more psychedelic. I love the flutes. It sounds like, you know, almost like a little bit Beatlesque, a little bit of Floyd in there without trying to be, you know, it's just original music of the time. I love it. Very, very cool.
People who will probably never know will be using our house as a road. They promised us a new home, one to call our very own. But what good are new places without old faces? Neighbors come to say goodbye, red rings printed round every eye. Don't cry, kisses swapped around like gold. No one has to be told. This is goodbye. They've promised us a new home, one to call our very own. But what good are new places without old faces?
Wow, this is insane. This is so, I love here on YouTube, the comment section is just, it says Gary Moore, It's 16 on the guitar. How can he play like this? It says, how could Gary Moore play acoustic guitar like this at only 16 years old? I don't get it. It's amazing for someone so young to play like this. And Phil sang great on this track. I totally agree. I think this was very cool. It sounded literally like early, like you know, Pink Floyd, you know, when they still had Syd Barrett around. That kind of like almost like a little bit of tragedy in the singing, and it's like a little bit of sadness. The flute, really, really cool. I in the comment section right here, the people are going nuts. This is nostalgia. Well done. Cheers for the upload. A beautiful song, and people are just asking for more. Unfortunately, this is not on Spotify, but this was a great track just to discover what Phil and Gary were up to when they were teenagers before Thin Lizzy. This was very, very interesting. Thank you so much, NARVIK, for choosing this. This is gold. This is like music gold, because it's just like, this is like the first time I listened to I can't really recall the band right now, but where Alan Holdsworth is basically singing and playing acoustic guitar before he got all shreddery and jazz fusion. And it's also very 60s, and it was like his first record. And I was just blown away how different the music was. It was just amazing to discover. So now we're going to get into Thin Lizzy. We're going to do anything you want to do. This is from Black Rose, a rock legend. Let's see. 1979. Oh man, I can't wait. My Sarah. And then we're gonna play some Gary Moore, Back on the Streets. 1978. This is Parisienne Walkways. And then we're gonna play some Gary Moore, Blood of the Emerald, After the War. And this is from 1989. I can't wait. These two guys are just amazing. Just what they accomplished in their bands. And I will always say it, Thin Lizzy, just underrated, as I can't believe how underrated these people are. They should be up there with, you know, they should have been up there with Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and you know, Scorpions and bands of the time. And maybe they were, but I think they're not as remembered. I know they broke up pretty early during the late 80s. So I guess that also, you know, has to do with it. But I wish they were like Led Zeppelin, that you just talk about, you know, people always talk about Deep Purple. People always talk about Black Sabbath, and you know, so I wish people were more focused on Thin Lizzy. For me, they're right up there. I'm sure there's a lot of people who agree with me, and because they're just so great, really, like their guitar work, their rhythm section, the bass, it's just amazing, the output of this band. So here we go with Do Anything You Want to Do, Thin Lizzy, from 79. Here we go. I'm sure this is going to be awesome. Let's go.
There are people that will investigate you. They'll insinuate
So literally that sound right there, the minor thirds, that's literally what made me fall in love with Iron Maiden. I think when I first heard that, that sounded so cool to my ears because I hadn't heard it in Metallica or I hadn't discovered Judas Priest at the time. So when I heard Iron Maiden do this in the Trooper or Transylvania or, you know, all the Phantom of the Opera, I was like, I love this sound, this double guitar sound. And now, you know, so many years later, I discover that these were basically the ones created this sound, and you know, and then Iron Maiden made a career out of it and they became superstars. They're like still, I mean, I'm gonna see them in October on literally on the one day before Alexa's birthday. I'm gonna see Iron Maiden and Judas Priest on the same freaking day. I'm gonna die. I love the sound. I just love the bass playing. I love his attack, and I love, and I've always been more a fan of people that play with their fingers. But here, like Phil, just has this awesome, like heavy attack on the bass with the pick, and I just love his singing. And being a bass player and singing like that is just, man, so good. So the guitar players can also focus 100% on their leads and rhythm. The drummer here, you know, my favorite drummer, and I'm sorry, Nick McBrain from Iron Maiden, but I think the guy that came before, what's his name? He unfortunately passed away. Bill Burr. No, Clive, not Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a comedian. Clive Burr. His drumming from the first 3 albums is just phenomenal. On The Number of the Beast, he is just off the charts. Nick McBrain also very, very good, but Clive Burr is just wow. Check out Number of the Beast, and you'll. I want to play some Iron Maiden after this for people who have not delved into Iron Maiden. But let's see. Let's just finish the set of Gary Moore and Thin Lizzy, and then we'll see what we do. Freaking excellent. Every song, it's almost like with Steely Dan, you know, every song that I listen to just makes me fall in love more with the band. And I know Steely Dan is completely different. Steely Dan, or jazz fusion band, you know, well, they became like this rock, these geniuses, you know, from rock to jazz, and their whole like transformation is incredible. If you don't know Steely Dan, please listen to them. But I'm almost like, I want to make a video where I explain this approach of guitar for people who are maybe not familiar with guitar playing, or maybe not familiar with how music actually, like the theory behind it. I just would like you to I would like to show you how to do that. I'll make a little video of me recording over. I'll play, I'll make a loop, and then I play the minor third lick over it, and you'll see that it sounds just like Thin Lizzy. I'll do this soon. If I don't do it, please remind me, but I really want to. So I just want to show some people, not everybody's a guitar player, not everybody knows music theory and stuff like that. But so I do want to give you a visual aid how this is actually done, you know, why does it sound that way? So we're going to continue with My Sarah. Just give me one quick second, and I'll be right back. All right, let's continue with My Sarah from the same album, Black Rose. Here we go. Wow.
When you came in my life, you changed my world, my Sarah. Everything seems so right, my baby girl, my Sarah. You are all I want to know. You hold my heart, so don't let go. You are all I need to live. My love to you I'll give.
Wow.
My Sarah. When you begin to smile, you change my style, my Sarah. When I look in your eyes, I see my prize, my Sarah. You are all I want to know. You hold my heart, so don't let go. You are all I need to live. My love to you I'll give. You are all I want to know. Oh, my Sarah. Don't let go. Oh, no, my Sarah. You are all I want to know. You hold my heart, so don't let go. You are all I need to live. My love to you I'll always give. You are all I want to know. You hold my heart, so don't let go. You are all I want to know. Oh, my Sarah. Yes, you changed my style with your baby smile, Sarah. Childlike charms keep me warm. I hold you in my arms, Sarah. Change my world, my baby girl, Sarah. You're all I want to know. Don't let go.
Man. I love it. I love it. So different. Okay, so I'm looking at the information here about Sarah. So it looks like the Sarah was a single cover. No, a single by Phil Lynott. And let's see. It says Sarah is a pop song released in 1979 by Irish rocker then Lizzy, included on their Black Rose, a rock legend. The song was written by the band frontman Phil Lynott and guitarist Gary Moore about Lynott's newborn daughter. Oh man, that is so cool. That's so beautiful. The song was also issued as a single and appeared on several compilation albums. Wow, I wanted to know who was singing the backing vocal. That was Gary Moore. That is awesome. That is so cool. What a sweet voice Gary Moore had. Because I thought for a second there, who is that? Like, is that like Phil doing his own harmony? That's so cool. You know, that's what I like when I listen to a song and then look up the facts, you know? Not before, you know? Before it kind of spoils it. Now I know that it's about his child. It's a beautiful. That's what I love about Thin Lizzy, and that's what I think is lacking a little bit in Judas Priest or Iron Maiden. They don't have ballads. They have like one ballad, which is like and that's not even a ballad. Like Children of the Damned. Children of the Damned is like a slow song that becomes a very heavy song, but they don't have this. This had like bongos and congas, and it had like a nice percussive section, and then the guitars were still nice, and there were some nice scales in there, but it was like, it just felt like a song you could play to anyone. And Iron Maiden is very like, you can't play Iron Maiden to anyone. It's like they have to be fans of a certain style of music. This can be played to anyone, and this is, I guess, what makes the music more accessible to a lot of people. That's why I'm baffled that they're not bigger. Now we're gonna change it to Gary Moore. This is called Parisienne, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Parisienne Walkways, Back on the Streets, and this is a Gary Moore album from 1978. All right, so I'm gonna load up the album as well. I want to read about it on Wikipedia while we listen to it. Here we go.
Michelle and old Beaujolais wine, and I recall that you were mine in those Parisian days. Looking back at the photographs, those summer days spent outside corner cafes. Oh, I could write you paragraphs about my old Parisian days.
Wow. Wow. This literally sounds a little bit, and I know Gary Moore so well now for Still Got the Blues. This sounds like a you know, the style that he was gonna go for. And I read right now that this was his first solo album, and he already had that intention. It's very melancholic, you know, those bends and the scales he uses is just, and then Phil is playing the bass and singing. Wow, what a collaboration these two guys had together. Like I had no idea. I had no idea they were such good friends and had worked on their albums, you know, Gary worked on Phil's albums, Phil's worked on Gary's albums, they worked together in Thin Lizzy, they worked together in Skid Row. So this is like a whole new discovery for me. So I'm definitely not going to play any Iron Maiden. If I play anything else after this, it will be more Gary Moore or more Phil or Thin Lizzy. So we're gonna close it off. This is a longer one, so I don't want to go too long because I know your time is precious. Although, I mean, I hope you're having a good time when you watch these, you know, 40-50 minute marathons, but I don't want to push it either. But this one is 8 minutes and 20 seconds, so let's go for that first, and then let's see how we feel. But this is 8 minutes and 20 seconds, Blood of Emeralds. This is Gary Moore, and I'm gonna load up here After the War. I want to see who is on here. After the War, Gary Moore album, 1989. Let's go. Boom. Oh, 1988. Okay, looks like it's instrumental. I'm loving the whole like Celtic vibe. Like you know, you can feel the Irish blood coming through. You know, and I don't know the scales that well. You know, I'm not that like well versed in Celtic music, but I wish I was. Man, this is really good, and he's singing lead vocals here, Gary Moore. I think I'm gonna do more Gary Moore after this. I don't know, maybe like one of the top 5. You know, maybe. I think I did Out on the Fields. I have to look it up, but I'll choose one once we're done. Let's not interrupt too much.
I was sad, just thinking about the times we had. I felt so lost and lonely too. What could I say? What could I do? After all the time goes by, no one knows the reasons why. You lived each day like there was no tomorrow. You spent those years living on time you'd borrow, and in your eyes all I could see was sorrow.
So good. What a track. Freaking amazing. Now Gary Moore is like becoming one of my, like, I can't say favorite guitar players, but he's being added on to the roster of like just guitar players that I really like, you know. I don't listen to too much like, I mean, I listen to a lot of guitar players, yes. But I don't listen to a lot of guitar players that sing. So this is like a new genre because I listen most most guitar players that I listen to are instrumental guitar players, like Vinnie Moore, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, Guthrie. I think it's Guven. Of course, Alan Holdsworth, Scott Henderson, Brett Garsett. My God, there's so many. Paul Gilbert. There's all these like shredders, but also all these jazz fusion players. Greg Howe, Richie Kotzen, Richard Hallebeek. So I'll add Gary Moore as one that actually does some singing as well, and is a amazing guitar player when it comes to like playing with feel, when playing fast. He plays clean, just like David Gilmour, Mark Knopfler. Those are my two favorite ones, and I'm adding it to that kind of roster of guitar players that also sing. So I think I'm gonna do another song by Gary Moore. I was gonna play one that is called Braveheart by Yngwie Malmsteen, but I don't want to deviate too much from the theme, because I think NARVIK did an amazing job, and I don't want to like destroy the entire thing. So I'll keep it at Gary Moore. I'm gonna play, because I did Out on the Fields in the last marathon I did for Nick, that was also Gary Moore, Phil Lynott inspired. So I'm gonna play Empty Rooms, because we did Out on the Fields before. So Empty Rooms, here we go. This is from the album Run for Cover 1985, Empty Rooms, and this has a lot of play, so maybe it'll boost the views on this. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. If you're a fan of Gary Moore, Thin Lizzy, or Phil Lynott, thank you so much for supporting this channel by giving it a like, maybe subscribing. Thank you. So here we go with this last track. Let's go.
Loneliness is your only friend. A broken heart that just won't mend is the price you pay.
Wow.
It's hard to take when love grows old. The days are long and the nights turn cold when it fades away. You hope that she will change her mind, but the days drift on and on. You'll never know the reason why she's gone. Empty rooms where we learn to live without love.
Wow, man.
Empty rooms where we learn to live without love.
I can see that this must have been a hit on MTV. This sounds like, I don't know, like White Snake, like, this sounds literally like those power ballads, like Def Leppard. You know what I'm talking about. Europe, like Carrie, Final Countdown. It has that, I don't know, something about it that's just like, I know this was a hit. I mean, I can see it, it has 20 million plays, but what a great intro, and the keyboards and the whole guitar, and he was a great singer, man. I mean, wow.
See her face in every crowd. Hear her voice, but you are still proud, so you turn away. Tell yourself that you'll be strong, but your heart tells you this time you're wrong. Empty rooms
So good. This guy, like this guy, he has so much feel in his playing. I love his note choices and he's just so good. I mean, sorry, but yeah. It's like when I hear other guitar players that are so highly praised, I find it like ridiculous, you know, because they have no business, you know. Like this guy, I hope I'm gonna look up where he stands, and it's gonna be obviously completely wrong. That's why I when I started like reading magazines like Guitar Player, or every time I look at a list of best guitar players, it's like no. It's like, I'm sorry, you know, I play, I know what difficult music is, what takes a lot of creativity, what chord progressions are very hard to do, and I don't know, it's just like sometimes it's just so wrong. But you know, critics are critics. I know that the real fans know, you know, who are the best ones, and also you know, it's a matter of taste, you know. So it maybe, you know, Django Reinhardt is your favorite guitar player because, you know, I think he's one of the greatest, you know. But maybe, you know, Kurt Cobain is one of your favorite guitar players. I guess that would be like, I guess he was a great composer, a great lyricist with Nirvana, but they put him like on number 5, you know, against people like Gary Moore. It just doesn't make any sense, you know. So it's just like, I think that's what I'm talking about. But this was amazing. Thank you so much, NARVIK. This was an amazing marathon. Thank you so much for all the fans out there, you know, Gary Moore, Thin Lizzy, Phil Lynott, and also the fans of the channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words, for your comments, for your likes, dislikes, you know, everything, you know, is appreciated. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.